Hello everyone, welcome to Tathastu and welcome to our class wherein we are going to cover the weekly news analysis, or not weekly news analysis but basically the PIB, weekly PIB. This is what we are going to cover in this class, and from when to when, so that is from the 13th of August to 26th of August basically. 26th of August. So this is what we are going to do in this class, and this is being presented by me. My name is Khushboo. So let's get started with the very first thing. A lot of topics we are going to cover. So the very first topic is related to the Directorate of Revenue Intelligence, that is DRI officials who seized 4 leopard skins in Srinagar, Jammu and Kashmir. So in Srinagar, they seized 4 leopard skins. So here you can see these are just an example. There are 2 only. So the skins they have basically discovered or seized from there, not discovered. So that is a wrong thing. So here GS3, it comes under GS3 environment. So DRI operation over there in Srinagar. So DRI had initiated an operation in Srinagar prompted by intelligence regarding illegal wildlife trade. Now, when it comes to this illegal wildlife trade, what do you understand by this illegal wildlife trade? So, illegal means illegal wildlife trade, it actually includes the unauthorized. Whenever you are doing any unauthorized kind of thing, so that becomes illegal. Why? Because that is something which you are not supposed to do. So, unauthorized capturing, collecting, transporting, selling of endangered or protected species and their products. So all these comes under this illegal wildlife trade. So whatever you are doing related to any unauthorized stuff related to the wildlife trade you are doing, so that falls under this thing only, illegal thing. Now, what is the impact on biodiversity and as well as on the ecosystems? So this activity poses a serious threat to biodiversity, ecosystem equilibrium and the survival of numerous species. So because when it comes to this, the whole web and all, right, so that is being impacted over here. If any of the animal actually become extinct, that impacts our ecosystem very badly. Drivers behind the trade, so obviously the exotic demand. So here the demand for the exotic pets, for the traditional medicines, fashion items and for the decorative goods, these are the reasons because of which it actually fuels up the illegal trade in the wildlife. So this is what is actually is helping, or you can say these are the kind of reasons because of which people get a lot of money, because through these because when it comes to wildlife trade, illegal wildlife trade, this is unauthorized, right? So it is really very dangerous. These are illegal, so it is dangerous. So the people are being paid really very well for these things. Okay, despite what they do, they just don't care about the any kind of restrictions or what, and that is why all these things are still being continued because of the demand, over here, and the kind of payment which these people made to these kind of people who do these kind of tradings. Now the involvement of criminal networks, obviously this is involved, right? So organized crime groups often play a role in this trade due to the substantial profits it generates. Just now I told you. Okay, so for the risk, the kind of risk which they take, so for that they are being paid, they are actually they demand very high kind of payment, right? And all those people who like these kind of illegal things, or you can say they in their terms the exotic thing, so they pay them really very well. So that is the reason why these kind of criminals are involved in it. Now the methods employed, common tactics which includes the poaching, trafficking, smuggling and corruption. These are the kind of methods which are being employed over here. Now when it comes to the corruption, many a times the officials are involved, many a times the higher officials, or you can say the people working over there who are supposed to look after all these things, they are involved. So they are being bribed. So because of that, these kind of things are happening. global scope of trade routes. The illegal wildlife trade operates across the international boundaries, making regulation and control a complex challenge, because as soon as you cross the border, the things change. Until unless you are in India, all the kind of rules are being applied on you. But as soon as the person cross the borders, so obviously you have to take the permission of our government, and as well as that country's government also, in order to look for those people, right? And between this time period only, they can do anything. They can hide anywhere. It would become really very difficult for the police to find these kind of people. Okay, so that is a kind of challenge over here. Technological involvement. Online platforms facilitate this trade, creating complexities in efforts to enforce the regulations. Here comes the dark web, you can say, that is, or any other kind of website, from where, which are the online platforms. Those are the ones which are a kind of facilitating this thing, or you can say a kind of pushing these kind of illegal wildlife trade to happen. Security concerns are also involved. Proceeds from the wildlife crime can financially support other illicit activities, potentially impacting the national security also, because by doing all these kind of things, they will be paid really very well, and they can make use of this money in order to do anything like terrorism. They can infuse that. Apart from that, they can create some kind of situation because of which riots can happen, right? So internal security can become a really very serious issue because of this kind of financing, or this kind of trade which will finance all those potentially impacting international security stuff. Okay, so you can say the illicit activities basically, so that can be funded by all these kind of things, and those are being done also. That is the reason why we need to take really very stringent kind of steps in order to stop it. Vice President greets, the next topic, greets the nation on the eve of Navroz. It comes under Art and Culture GS paper 1. So this Navroz is actually the new year of Parsi, right? So when it comes to the significance, this Navroz starts as the Parsi New Year, holding immense importance in the Zoroastrian calendar over here. Date and symbolism. It falls on the initial day of the Zoroastrian month, that is Farvardin. Navroz embodies themes of new beginnings, rejuvenation, and the victory of good over evil. Good over evil, right? And with this thing, with this victory only, new beginnings happen, and the rejuvenation also. Global celebration. So obviously this festival is commemorated by the Zoroastrians who are living all around the world, and all of them are basically celebrating. Spiritual essence. Navroz serves as a period of introspection which involves the prayer and the pursuit of blessings for the forthcoming year, that everything happens for good, like those kind of things, whatever you want to do, right? So all those kind of things people do during this period, during that particular day. Preparations and traditions. Individuals engage in the cleaning and ornamentation of their homes, don new attire, and partake in the festival meals also. So everyone is involved in this. New kind of dishes are being made and being cooked, and apart from that, ornamentation, cleaning of everything is being done, and the new dress also people are wearing. So all these are just the way in order to express your happiness. Culinary delights. So what kind of special dishes are being cooked on this day? So sabzi polo, that is herb rice, fish pulao are skillfully crafted, and that is being enjoyed by the people. Unity and the gathering, people come together and they enjoy this thing. When it comes to the symbolic halved scene table, a pivotal aspect in the halved scene table adorned with 7 emblematic items, each starting with the letter S. On the table, they basically keep things which starts with letter S only. Okay, now the joy, when it comes to the joy and anticipation, Navroz is a time of the exultation, optimism, and the anticipation of the brighter times ahead. So all in all, you can say that Navroz is the time when people celebrate with, when the Zoroastrians, you can say specifically the Parsis, celebrate it with the most kind of joy, happiness. Let's move on to the next topic. That is, the Prime Minister announces Vishwakarma Yojana to benefit individuals skilled in traditional craftsmanship. So this we have already done in our DNA, but over here I will be giving you a kind of overview, and apart from that, a little bit of details also related to this thing. Okay, this Vishwakarma Yojana, this Vishwakarma scheme, you can say that it was launched on the, it was announced on the 15th of August and on the Independence Day itself, right, by our Prime Minister. So what are the objectives of the scheme? So the objective is to support and assist skilled individuals involved in the traditional craftsmanship. So traditional craftsmanship, those kind of things, whoever people are involved in that, so they will be actually helping them out in order to support it and in order to make them flourish in that way. In flourish, or you can say in flourish in the sense that it will be, the government will be helping them out so that they can do a lot of export, they can work in that particular direction. So in that way they will be supporting, and obviously the monetary benefits will also be there. Target audience. The scheme specifically focuses on benefiting individuals from the other backward classes community. So the individuals from the OBC community will also be focused over here. This includes the professions like weavers, goldsmiths, blacksmiths, laundry workers, barbers, and more. All these will be involved in this. Initial funding, as you can see over here, it has been decided from anywhere between 13,000 crores to 15,000 crore rupees. Empowerment through traditional crafts. The Vishwakarma Yojana is designed to uplift and empower families who has always been engaged in the traditional craftsmanship, and this is actually in order to preserve those crafts which these people have been doing since generations. We don't want to lose it. So for that particular purpose, this Vishwakarma Yojana has been brought. Next is that Pradhan Mantri says, as the world grapples with climate crisis, we have shown the way and launched the lifestyle for environment. That is Mission Life Initiative. So we are going to talk about Mission Life Initiative over here. This comes under the government scheme, GS paper 2. Now, India is very much involved when it comes to the environmental issues, or at the international platform, we have always been doing that, what all things we can do in order to protect our environment. Okay. Now, the leaders amid climate challenges. In response to climate crisis, India has taken leadership role over here, and we have announced the Lifestyle for Environment Mission Life program. This particular program was unveiled by India in 2021 during the UN Climate Change Conference in Glasgow. This was all over again in the news. When it comes to the PIB, that is why we are discussing over here. What is the goal and scope of this? So the initiative aims to mobilize a minimum of 1 billion individuals worldwide to adopt the sustainable lifestyles by 2030. So here the word sustainable is very much important, and how many people we are aiming? A minimum of 1 billion individuals who are supposed to live on the sustainable lifestyle kind of condition by 2030. This is what we are aiming to. When it comes to the individual actions, then definitely, see, when it comes to this mission life, this is the kind of belief, the core belief that all of you must have heard this line in Hindi, कण कण भरे मन भरे, कण कण से जो है पूरी की पूरी समुद्र जो वो भर जाती है एक एक बूंद से। उसमें से एक एक बूंद अगर आप निकाल लोगे तो एक एक बूंद से ही जो है पूरी की पूरी समुद्र खाली हो जाएगी। सो दिस इज व्हाट वी मीन from this particular line, these lines only you can understand that what they mean when it comes to the individual actions, power of individual actions. If everyone will be, you know, putting their own effort in order to protect our environment, then definitely we would be able to save our planet. So this is what it is talking about. Now when it comes to the pillars of mission life over here, so the very first one is the sustainable consumption production. This pillar centers on diminishing consumption of goods and services, promoting sustainable production methods. The second pillar is the sustainable food systems. Third is sustainable energy, then sustainable water, and then comes the sustainable waste management, which is very important, because what we do, either we dump over there on some land. After that, after a few years, that land is of no use, or what we do, we dump the wastage over there directly into the river. That impacts the quality of water in the river. And or what we will be doing, just dump it over there in the ocean. Now we are even polluting the space also. That is also what is happening. So these are the waste management is something which is really very much required over here. Next is Union Cabinet approves expansion of the Digital India program with an outlay of 14,903 crore rupees. Okay, so here the Digital India program, this was basically launched in 2015. When it was launched on July 1st of July 2015, and it aims to transform India into a digitally empowered society and a knowledge based economy. Okay, so what it aims to transform the digitally empowered society and as well as knowledge based economy. Okay, so these what we aim at. Now what are the main objectives? The very first one is the enhancing broadband connectivity. So it expands the speed internet access with a special focus where on the rural regions. Okay, so that is what we are focusing on, rural regions. Next is the digitalizing governance. So what we are doing, we are actually converting everything and we are going digital for the improved transparency and as well as for the efficiency. Next is we are focusing on the digital literacy also, because in order to digitize India, in order to make everything digital and for all these things, definitely we need the people who are literate in this thing and skilled also. Next is boosting electronics manufacturing. Now apart from that, doing all these things, we need to encourage domestic production of the electronic goods in order to become the Atmanirbhar also, and in order to provide everything in quite sasta or you can say cheap rate. Next is the accessible information and services. Make government information and services available online, so that every can have an idea that what all things are actually happening. So here the complete plan, you can see that what the government is actually aiming at. So we want to digitize everything. Next is advancing the digital infrastructure also. We just cannot stay at we just cannot keep on using one kind of the platform or user interface, whatever. We cannot. We have to keep on updating everything. So we need to enhance technological infrastructure, which includes the facilities like that of the supercomputing. Enhancing cyber security, because if we want to make everything available online, so for that particular purpose you need to provide some kind of security also. So cyber security is very much important. Then comes the mobile governance over here. Deliver government services and information through the mobile devices. So that is another aim. Then fostering economic growth. By doing all these things, what we are aiming at? Economic growth. Now, what are the key components when it comes to this initiative? Common service centers, unified mobile application for the new age governance, which is actually focusing on digitizing everything. that is the Umang app. It provides a single platform to access various government services. We don't want to go everywhere for everything. Then comes the National Knowledge Network. It connects the educational and research institutions through the digital infrastructure. Then comes the digital payment. Recently only you must have seen that Germany's minister was actually purchasing some vegetables from the streets, from street side, and he paid online, and just by doing that he was very happy that India has actually digitized its economy at really very good pace, and apart from that at really very good level. At such a level the people are actually using. You can go to the pani puri wala and there also you can pay in the through the digital platforms, right? So these kind of things, the digital payment system is actually helping us in order to digitize things. Digital literacy campaigns, it promotes the digital skills through training and awareness programs. So literacy campaigns are also important because there are a lot many people who don't know how to do, right, how to use the platforms and all. So these are the kind of things which will be actually helping us, helping these people in order to promote it. Then comes the Union Cabinet. It approves the new central sector scheme, that is PM Vishwakarma. This is, I guess we have already done, so we are not going to cover it all over again. Next is the Chairman Central Water Commission. It launches mobile app Flood Watch to provide real-time flood forecasts to public using the interactive maps, that where are the floods, and I mean where the floods can actually occur, right? So these kind of things you can, these kind of information you can get it from the mobile app, that is Flood Watch, right? So this comes under the disaster management GS paper 3. So launch of Flood Watch mobile app, and this was done by the Central Water Commission. The app details. So what actually happens when it comes to this particular app, the primary goal is to utilize mobile phones to provide, what it will be doing, utilizing mobile phones to provide real-time flood information, and it can even forecast the public for 7 days, for up to 7 days, that if there is any kind of flood going to happen, going to occur in that particular area, so they will be informing you in advance itself. The app was developed in-house, so over here only, so it is the indigenous one, and is designed to be user friendly with options for both the readable as well as the audio broadcast can also be done. So as of now, limited language is actually being used, that is the English and Hindi only, and after a few times they will be definitely exploring that we could actually introduce or add on more languages. So as of now you can hear the audios in English or as well as that in Hindi, or you can read it also, right? So in these languages only. What are the key features? Though we have covered this thing in very detailed manner over there in our DNA, but we are doing this all over again because of the PIB. Real-time flood monitoring is a standout feature because the real-time information basically you are getting. It enables users to access the current flood situation, and it updates throughout the entire country also, that people can actually make out that yes, where the flood is, which are the areas where you can see the flood, okay, and you will definitely avoid going in those areas. Now when it comes to the Central Water Commission, it was established in 1945 and it operates under the Ministry of Jal Shakti. What are the responsibilities? So it holds the responsibility for the water resources planning, development and the management, everything related to the water itself. The core functions encompass water resource assessment, data collection, flood prediction, river basin plan and hydrological research. Apart from that, CWC gathers hydrological data on river flows, groundwater levels and precipitation also. So all these kind of information is actually being provided by the Central Water Commission only. The commission even offers the flood forecast also and the guidance to mitigate damage and loss of life because of the flood which can happen. So in order to avoid that, what all things you can do and where you can go, so all those kind of information is also being provided by CWC, Central Water Commission. Research efforts focus on the hydrological processes and water management techniques, and the commission collaborates globally on issues related to transboundary rivers and water sharing as well. Now the next one is related to the livestock. So livestock sector is consistently growing at a high compound annual growth rate of 7.67% during 2014-15 to 2021-22. So this is what has been actually provided. This kind of information has been provided by the government over here, right? So now the next point, consistent. So here the word which actually is matters is the consistent word, right? So the livestock sector has maintained a robust compound annual growth rate of 7.67% between 2014-15 and 2021-22 with a noteworthy expansion over here. What are the contributing factor which actually led to this much of growth? So the contributing factors are the dairy, bovine, that is the cattle, poultry, goatry and piggery. All these are reasons because of which the livestock sector has got a kind of push. Next is the significant contribution. This is definitely the significant contribution, and this has made a sustainable contribution of about 30.19% to the overall gross value added of both the agriculture and as well as the allied sectors. So that is the reason why this is really very important, significant thing which has happened. Economic significance, just now we discussed this thing. Steady growth, so that is also kind of good thing when it comes to the this particular sector and as well as to the economy also. Employment generation, definitely when there is a steady growth in any kind of field, so people definitely move towards that field in order to gain the employment, in order to work over there. So definitely it is going to generate the employment opportunities, and specifically in the rural areas. Food security and nutrition is also being done through this. Okay, so and specifically when it comes to the nutritions, because all these are the these products actually provide the meat, eggs and the milk, and all these are the potential source when it comes to the protein. Diversified income, it is not like that if you are doing agriculture then from there only you can make money. You can have these animals also in order to have some extra money from there. Rural development will happen because of all these things, and the export prospects can also be we can also you can say that what happened export prospects can also be done. You can say that we can explore that what kind of things we can export and how much we can export, where we can export. If we are producing extra, then definitely we can do this thing. Then comes the Jan Dhan accounts. So this has been informed by the government that Jan Dhan account has actually crossed a 50 crore mark, which is really very good. It falls under the governance topic. So Jan Dhan accounts have crossed a milestone, that is the 50 crore people have registered. This is the recent achievement of the government. Gender, when it comes to the gender distribution, 56% of this account is being held by women and women beneficiaries, and the rest by the men or the others. Geographical spread, when it comes to the geographical spread, 67% of the people are from the rural and semi-urban regions. People are now trusting banks, and they are trusting banks. Obviously, if you are putting your money somewhere, then definitely it shows that you are willing to support the person or support the bank. Importance, when it comes to the importance of the Jan Dhan accounts over here, It enhances the financial accessibility. It extends banking services to the individuals who were previously unbanked. Okay, so here the financial inclusion is happening because of this. Next is the gender equality. There were a lot many people, there were a lot many ladies, specifically the women, they were not putting their money, they were not keeping their money in the account. So now it is actually from this particular number you can see that a lot many people are actually supporting this thing. They are getting interested in order to join it. Okay, now the next is supporting rural progress. So definitely 67% of the accounts are from the rural and the semi-urban area. So definitely it is supporting the rural progress. When it comes to the direct benefit transfer, so there are a lot many rural people who were getting benefited from this DBT system. So because of that also there are a lot many people who actually opened their account in the banks. So this has also played a really very important role over here. And this was actually done in order to minimize the leakages and instances of the corruption which was actually being highlighted, though corruption is still being done through still is there, but at really very less level as compared to the previous one. It encourages the savings and the financial literacy among the people. Apart from that, economic growth is also being done because now the bank is having more of money. Diminish informality. Informality has been diminished. The decreasing reliance on informal financial channels, it has enhanced the transparency in the financial transactions. Now comes the government program synergy. It has aligned with the national initiatives like the Digital India and Make in India. So this is the reason which has actually given another kind of strength to this Jandhan Yojana. So that is something which is actually supporting over here. Next is the chairman KVIC inaugurates several KVI activities in Tamil Nadu. Now what is this KVIC? That is Khadi and Village Industries Commission, and it is a legally established entity over here in India. Okay, so KVIC is what? Khadi and Village Commission. It was formed in 1956 by the Indian government, and what is the purpose of this? The purpose is to foster the growth and advancement of Khadi and village industries. From the name itself you can find it out. Okay, so their focus is on the growth of the Khadi and village industries. Now this KVIC operates under the jurisdiction of Ministry of MSME. Okay, Ministry of Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises. The fundamental objective of this, it revolves around around generating sustainable job opportunities within the rural region itself, so that they can also grow, and the rural people, they don't have to run move or you can say the migrate towards the urban area in order for the employment purpose and all. So they can stay over there, stay with their family, and still they can make money. KVIC primarily champions the traditional sectors just like that of the khadi, handloom and various crafts rooted in the village settings. The organization's mission, the mission encompasses uplifting rural artisans. The upliftment of the rural artisans is being focused over here, reducing poverty and contributing to the rural economic progress. So these are the things which is actually being focused by this. Now the next is the INS Vagir on an extended range deployment to Fremantle, Australia. So INS Vagir. So this has been deployed over there. The deployment of this has been extended. It is scheduled to reach Fremantle, Australia by August 2023. So this has been reached. So because today is 26th of August, so this has been reached over there. So this has been taken from the PIB. That is why this. Now when it comes to the INS Vagir, this comes under the Kalvari class. Okay. So this is the 5th submarine of the Kalvari class. Please remember this thing from prelims perspective. This is important. It was commissioned in January 2023 itself, and it operates from Mumbai, India. Now, when it comes to the INS Vagir, a little bit of more information related to this thing. It has been categorized as the Scorpion class submarine in the Indian Navy, and it is a vital component of Project 75, a naval modernization initiative that we want to modernize our navy, and for that particular purpose we launched Project 75, and under that only this was actually developed. This has been developed a Scorpion class submarine. This is what? This is the Scorpion class submarine. Now, when it comes to the Project 75, what is the objective of this Project 75? So the objective is to modernize. What is? It is to modernize the Indian Navy's submarine fleet, because we are talking about submarine. Project 75 focusing on the submarine itself. It entails the acquisition of advanced diesel electric submarines equipped with the advanced combat capabilities, so that if in case in future we will be in need of these Scorpions, so definitely they could, these submarines, then definitely they would be there in order to help us. For that, the combat capabilities are very much important. Scorpion class submarines and their characteristics. It has these Scorpion class submarines are being constructed at Mazagon Dock Limited in Mumbai. These submarines are renowned for their cutting edge technology. Now, when it comes to the cutting edge technology, it means that the new advanced level of technology. Okay, stealth features are there, and the versatility also. It has been designed to excel in the anti-submarine warfare, anti-surface warfare, and their naval operations also. In order to do these kind of things, this has been actually made according to this only. Project 75, this is a kind of collaborative initiative which involves the Indian Navy and MDL, that is the Mazagon Dock Limited, and the foreign manufacturers. They are helping us out with the cutting edge technologies. These efforts focus on bolstering India's maritime security and as well as the strategic naval capabilities also, because we need to protect our coastal areas also. Like, just for an example, Mumbai, you can remember 2008 incident. Mumbai was actually attacked, and it was the people from where they entered India, the people, those terrorists basically, from where they entered India, coastal area. So they used the waterways over here, and from there only they entered Mumbai and they attacked. And all of you know that what actually happened in that particular time. Okay, so this is the reason why we need to protect our coastal area also, and for that we need submarines. For that we need really very good ships also. So this is the reason why all these are important. Okay, now the benefits and the impacts. The modernization under Project 75, it involves replacing the aging submarines with the advanced assets which we actually need otherwise we will become obsolete, and the other countries will be advancing. So we actually have to move along with the time. It enhances India's maritime deterrence and response capabilities. Apart from that, INS Vagir and its counterparts contribute to reinforcing India's naval strength and security. Let's move on to the next topic, that is the exercise Malabar. So whatever exercises happens between India and other countries, all those exercises are important from prelims perspective. So this comes under the defense. So exercise Malabar 27 came to an end on August 21st, 2023, and this was done nearby the coast of Australia. Okay, the participants were the ships, submarines and aircraft of the 4 prominent naval forces, and those were the Indian Navy, Royal Australian Navy, Japan Maritime Defense Self-Defense Force, and the US Navy. So India is involved. So India is involved in this thing. Then the Australia is involved in this. Japan is involved in this, and as well as US. Okay, all of them. Right, now insights into the news related to this exercise Malabar. So this was actually started in 1992 when it began as a bilateral interaction between Indian Navy and the US Navy. Later on, Japan and Australia joined it. Over time, its scope has broadened. Now it involves Indo-Pacific region, navies in the Indo-Pacific region. The key participants are India, Australia, Japan and the United States. Just now I told you this. Remarkably, Australia has taken the role of hosting the exercise for the very first time. That is why it has actually, that is why this exercise was took nearby the coast of this Australia itself. So the culmination of exercise Malabar is followed by the India-Australia bilateral naval exercise, which is called as the Oz Index. Okay, how you can remember? Oz Index, Australia India exercise, or you can simply say Oz Index. Okay, it is noteworthy that Malabar acknowledged as India's most intricate naval exercise over here. So this is it related to our PIB news analysis, the weekly PIB news analysis. I hope you people enjoyed it. See you in the next video. Bye bye, take care and have a great time.